AlUla, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. AlUla is a city of the Medina region in northwestern Saudi Arabia. Historically located on the Incense route, the city lies within the Governorate of Ula, one of 7 in the Medina region, covering an area of 29,261 square kilometers. The city is 110 kilometers southwest of Tayma and 300 kilometers 190 miles north of Medina. AlUla was the capital of the ancient Lihyanites or Dedanites. The governorate contains the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Saudi Kingdom, called Hegra, also known as Al-Hijja, or Madain Saleh, 22 kilometers north of the city. Hegra or Madain Saleh was built more than 2,000 years ago by the Nabateans. AlUla, the ancient walled city, is packed with mud brick and stone houses. The walled city of AlUla was founded in the 6th century BC, an oasis in the desert valley, with fertile soil and plenty of water. It was located along Incense Road, the network of routes that facilitated the trading of spices, silk and other luxury items through Arabia, Egypt and India. AlUla stands on the site of the biblical city of Madain but was founded with the ancient North Arabian kingdom of Lihyanites, which ruled from the 5th to 2nd century BC. The older history of the oasis has been divided into several phases. The Dedanite kingdom spans the 7th and 6th centuries BC. Madain is mentioned in the Haran inscriptions. In these it is told how Nabonidus, the king of Babylonia, made a military campaign to northern Arabia in 552 BC or somewhat later, conquering Tayma, Madain and Yathrib or Medina. It is thought that around the turn of the 5th century BC the kingdom became hereditary. One of the Nabatean tombs from the Madain Saleh necropolis. The next 400 years, until around 100 BC, were the time of the kingdom of Lihyanites. The Nabateans were the lords of the region at least until 106 AD when the Romans conquered their capital Petra. The Nabateans made Hegra, the modern Madain Saleh, their second capital. The power center of the region thus shifted to Hegra, some 22 kilometers 14 miles to the north of AlUla. Al-Mabiat, some 20 kilometers away near Mughira, became the next commercial center of the region. It thrived from around 650 until it declined at some time before 1230. In the 13th century the old city of AlUla was built and many stones of the old Dedanite and Lihyanite ruins were reused. AlUla now became the major settlement of the region again until modern times. Between 1901 and 1908 the Ottomans built the Hejaz railway in order to link Damascus to Medina. The railway had main stations in both Madain Saleh or Hegra and AlUla, where a line was built through the western part of Al-Qurayba, some 12 kilometers to the north of the old medieval town, which is believed to be the site of the old Dedanite and Lihyanite town that is still standing there despite being in bad shape. In the 20th century the new town center was established beside the old town and eventually the people left the old buildings. The last family is said to have left in 1983, whilst the last service in the old mosque was held in 1985. Both the ruins of the medieval town and the site of the Lihyanite settlement now lie within the limits of the modern town. The most detailed study of the area was made by the French priests Antonin Jorson and Raphael Savignac, who visited the area 3 times, in 1907, 1908 and 1910. They studied the remains at Hegra and Madain and collected a large number of Lihyanite, Minian, Thamudic and Nabatean inscriptions. Accordingly, it was their work that came to constitute the basis for all further study and research in the history of the area. The first European traveller of modern times to describe the town was Charles Doughty in 1876. Charles Hubbard was in AlUla in 1881–82. He returned in 1883 accompanied by Julius Uting. In 1968 a team of archaeologists from the University of London investigated some 15 inscriptions. The vertical sandstone cliffs surrounding the valley provide ample surfaces for rock art, making the Governorate one of the richer petroglyph regions in the kingdom. Aruzakia is a mountain in the southern part of the Governorate, with a large petroglyph panel displaying hundreds of images, including depictions of hunting scenes with humans and a variety of animals. Ibex are the most common species, but camels, horses and other species can also be found. Mount Ikma also has a large facade with scenes, strange symbols and inscriptions. Madain Saleh. If you stood silent among the Nabatean tombs and monuments at Madain Saleh in Saudi Arabia long after dusk, you might hear a baby camel's faint keening for its mother. The people of Tamad, like spiteful children disobeying their father, slaughtered the she-camel, which had been created as a miracle of God, and the calf escaped into the mountains. Today, according to legend, the calf haunts Madain Saleh, about 400 kilometers north of Medina. God cursed the area to destroy the Tamids for their cruelty and idol worshipping. Whether one is superstitious and believes in ghosts is irrelevant. The wailing often heard could be the wind whistling through nearby mountain passages and the tombs carved in rock. But in many ways, Madain Saleh, which was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008, is indeed cursed if one chooses a broad interpretation of what became of the site after its people disappeared. It was neglected for centuries, and despite efforts by the Saudi government to promote it as a tourist attraction, Saudis have largely ignored its significance. Madain Saleh is Saudi Arabia's preeminent pre-Islamic archaeological site dating to the Nabatean kingdom in the 1st century. The Tamid's presence is dated to at least 715 BC. Madain Saleh literally means cities of Saleh, after the pre-Islamic prophet Saleh. Madain Saleh is a necropolis of 131 Nabatean tombs cut into massive rocks spread over 21 square kilometers. It was the southern settlement of the Nabatean people, whose capital was in Petra, Jordan. The area where the Tamid people once lived is one of area's most important archaeological sites. Saleh was the prophet of the Tamid people who built their homes into the cliffs of the area. They were arrogant and corrupt. They lived long but also worshipped idols carved from stone, refusing to listen to Saleh's message that there was only one God. When villagers demanded a miracle to prove that an invisible God existed, Saleh obliged, and God created a pregnant she-camel rising out of a large rock and giving birth to a calf. The Tamid people were in awe of the miracle. A great stone tub was built and filled with milk from the she-camel. Saleh permitted the villagers to share water from a well with the camel by drinking from it on alternating days. But the villagers refused to allow the camel and her calf to drink from the well or to graze. The villagers killed the mother and the calf escaped. God ordered Saleh to leave the region and then shook the villagers' land with a massive earthquake and lightning. The disobedient villagers perished in the disaster. Today the area is the top Saudi Arabian tourist site for expatriates, drawing thousands of visitors each year. But to say that Saudis avoid the area due to superstitions ignores the generational shift in attitudes and religious and cultural history. Fort Old Town. AlUla Heritage Village, also known as Ad-Dira, is the traditional Arabian village to which people of the oasis moved some 8 centuries ago and inhabited until the 20th century. It was built on a higher part of the valley in order to be clear of the floods that can occur during the rainy season. At its maximum expansion, the town contained more than 1,000 houses, which were built adjacent to one another, thereby forming a wall around the town to defend the population. On the west of the town, at the bottom of the cliff, is the old souk, which has been renovated. In the 12th century, AlUla Old Town became an essential settlement along the pilgrimage route from Damascus to Mecca. The city gradually replaced Kir, to the south of AlUla, and is favorably mentioned by travelers from the 12th to the 20th centuries, when modern AlUla was constructed nearby. The houses were designed to be attached to one another, providing fortification, which hints to defense being a priority for the city's early inhabitants. At one point, the city was accessed by 14 gates, which were opened in the morning to welcome travelers, pilgrims and other visitors, and closed each evening. The ancient city's recent occupation has enabled researchers to begin to gather oral histories, painting a picture of what life was like inside its walls. These stories will one day be available to visitors who can look forward to tapping into AlUla Old Town's living memory. AlUla Old Town has 900 mud brick houses, 400 shops and 5 rabas, or town squares. Traces of original stone and mud brick structures can be found at this remarkable site, with winding alleyways, windows glimpsing hidden lanes and rooftop terraces that only hint at the world within. Visitors can peek into the Masjid al-Izam, the restored Friday mosque mentioned in historic documents as having been visited by the Prophet Muhammad, who prayed here and designated the mihrab or niche which the congregation faces to pray. Travelers will also be able to see the town's tantora, or sundial, where residents track the changing seasons and organized access to water and other resources. Before you leave, dine at Suhal Restaurant, a high-end Saudi Arabian dining concept serving dishes inspired by old Arabian Peninsula spices and time-honored traditions, matched with a modern twist and exemplary service located at AlUla's Old Town. Elephant Rock. Set in golden desert sands and climbing 3 stories into the Saudi Arabian sky, is the AW-inspiring Elephant Rock, also known as Jabal Al-Fil, one of AlUla's many geological marvels. Unlike the ornate, hand-carved facades of nearby Hegra's Nabatean tombs, the trunk and body of this monolithic red sandstone beast were shaped by natural forces, millions of years of wind and water erosion. The beauty of the unrefined structure is enhanced by a landscape of golden sands, studded with rocky outcrops, many of which are equally impressive in size and have interesting shapes and figures. For more videos updates, please don't forget to click like, comment and subscribe. And please on the notification bell icon so that you will be updated for my new videos uploads. Once again, this is your cheeper ni hao.